You are now tuning in to the Mommy Mindset Mentor. My kids are currently sleeping on the bed right next to me, so hopefully they don't wake up. But if you're watching this on YouTube, then the audio version is on my podcast at the Mommy Mindset Mentor on Apple and Spotify. And if you're listening to the podcast, then you can also watch the visual version here on my YouTube channel at Daisy Fuentes. I'm so excited about today's topic because I talk about personal development and mindset all day, every day on my Instagram at Daisy Fuentes. And I feel like I was someone who didn't even know what personal development was. I didn't even know what a podcast was. I really want to give you tips on how to help you get started on your journey. The first thing is when you want to start your personal development journey, when you want to better yourself, you have to want it. You have to want to become better, and you have to be willing to unlearn all of the things that you know. When starting, you don't need to know all of the things that you want to change about yourself. It could just be one thing. It could be that you want to stop procrastinating, you want to wake up earlier, you want to be happier, you want to stop being selfish. So figure out a goal on what it is that you want to achieve. What is it that you want to achieve with this personal development journey? And as you continue doing it, you're going to start discovering yourself and discovering more things that you realize that you need to change. The way my personal development journey started was by going to church. So I was doing personal development without even realizing, I would read the scriptures, I would attend, Sunday school, and like we would read the scriptures and like, learn about being more like Christ. So I would analyze myself and, try to do the things that I was learning about. And then I would go home and I would be like in my room at like 16 years old. And sometimes I would be listening to rap music, but a lot of the times when I would be cleaning my room, I would literally just be listening to motivational videos on YouTube. So for me, it really started with YouTube. And later on down the line, I learned about podcasts. So my biggest tip when wanting to start your personal development journey is start off listening to YouTube videos and podcasts just the way that you are right now. And as you continue to like listen to one person, that person's going to put you onto, other people that you can learn from. So for example, like even if it's like a 10-minute morning motivation from Steve Harvey, and then boom, you see another one from Ed Milet, or you see another one from Eric Thomas. So you start learning about these motivational coaches and you start listening to them. And motivation is going to get you started, but it's not what's going to keep you going. Because a lot of the times you're going to wake up every day and you're not going to feel like doing it. And that's where it's you versus you. And so you need to create discipline and you need to create a routine. Because when you create a routine for yourself, even the days that you don't feel like it, your mind and your body is going to be so used to your routine that you're going to continue practicing it every single day. A lot of the times people tell me, Daisy, like I want to better myself, like I try, but every single day I don't even feel like getting up out of bed. I feel super depressed. I have anxiety, and I felt like that. And especially even in the beginning of this year, I felt like that. I felt like I had no motivation. I felt very down about myself. So I know exactly what that feels like. But those are the days that you have to do it. You just have to, even when you don't feel like it. Like I said, even when you don't feel like it, those are the days that you show up. Because, like, when I was feeling very sad and like I would practice, journaling and I would practice gratitude, even if I didn't feel good in that moment, I was like, you know what, 30 days from now, my mindset is going to be in a different place if I keep doing it. If I show up today, 30 days from now, my life is going to be different. You know, next year my life is going to be different if I do this for 6 months. So in the moments that you don't feel like it, you have to think about the future and think about your future self and think about how you're going to feel in the future if you put in the work now and put in the work today, because nothing changes if nothing changes. If every single day you're continuing the same cycle and not doing anything to change it, then how do you expect your life to be different in 30 days from now, in 60, 90 days, next year? Like, you don't want 2023 to be the same thing as 2022. So, another thing is like, knowledge isn't, not what is it that they say? Like, knowledge is power, or, applied knowledge is power, because I could literally give you all of the answers that I know. I could literally give you the secret sauce. The most successful, the most richest person can come and tell you everything that they've done and how you can do it too. But if you don't apply what we're teaching you, then your life is going to stay the same, because there's no point of you knowing that you need to change, knowing that you need to do better, and you don't do anything about it, right? Like when you know better, you do better. You don't have to wait for a new year, you don't have to wait for a new month in order to get started. I think the sooner you start, the better, because there's a quote that says the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, right? Because if you would have planted it 10 years ago, you would have had a tree today. But the second best time to plant the trees today. Why? Because when you start today, then time is going to be passing by regardless. But with that time, the whole time you can have that seed growing. So, even let's say if you want to wait until Monday, right? But like I said, you don't have to wait for a Monday, because really, time, months, and like years and like days, like that's something that humans made up. You could literally pretend that today's a Monday. You could pretend that today's New Year's. And so, start today, right? And I want you to listen and find like a motivational video to listen to, right? And that's going to get you excited. That's going to get you amped up. And as you listen to these motivational videos, you kind of like find yourself imagining and dreaming bigger. And imagination is so important. Like, I don't live in my reality, I create my reality by my imagination. Your imagination and faith is the most powerful gift that God has given us, right? Because everything starts in your mind before it becomes a reality. The same way that before somebody created this phone, before somebody created this microphone, it was a thought in somebody's head. Before they created the TV, before they created the bed that you're sitting on or the chair that you're sitting on, before the car that you're driving, somebody had to imagine that and draw it out and plan it out and write it out before it became physical. So, listen to a motivational video, start imagining, your future self, start imagining your goals. And then I also want you to write down your goals. Like, what do you want to accomplish with, you know, starting this personal development journey? And the best thing about a personal development journey is that it never stops, because it's like once you realize one thing, or once you have one breakthrough, that leads to another breakthrough. And as you accomplish one dream and one goal, your dreams and goals get bigger, and you're like, wow, like I was really able to do this. And if I was really able to do this, then what else can I do? And that's where you start to build that confidence and that self-esteem. A lot of the times people don't even believe in themselves. You don't even believe that these things are possible because of the circumstance that you're in, because of the family that you were born in. But that doesn't matter. Like there's so many people who have turned their struggles into success stories. But it starts with you. It starts with wanting it and believing it. Because if you don't believe it, then you're not going to take the actions, because you're going to be like, why am I going to do this if it's going to be for nothing? Right? So start listening to podcasts, start listening to people on YouTube, but also follow people on Instagram who are motivational, or that every time you go on their page, you're learning something new. Instead of following Kim Kardashian and reposting whatever nonsense she got going on, like literally the only time that I see celebrities is when somebody reposts a picture of them. And I'm like, why is this person even reposting a picture of this celebrity? Just like a picture of them, like for what? You know? So if you're following, so I would say unfollow people on Instagram who don't provide any value. Maybe some friends who don't even post nothing, right? And start following 5, 10 new people who you're gonna learn something new every time, right? Whether it's about relationships, whether it's about social media, whether it's about health, whether it's about motherhood. So that way you're using Instagram and social media in a positive, strategic way to better yourself. What has really helped me is doing a morning routine. Like, I cannot stress it enough. Like I said, I can't just tell you about it. You have to try it for yourself. And so with the morning routine, I practice gratitude, and gratitude and love are like the highest forms of energy, of power. Because when you do things with love, man, when you're so grateful for everything that you have, you're gonna see how God is gonna bless you with more. And you're just gonna feel better about yourself. Like, I could be in the shittiest situation, and instead of thinking about all of the negative things that I could think about, because there is, I think about all of the positive stuff. And that just makes me feel so much better about myself and my circumstance, because why would you want to be sitting in your room thinking about all of the negative stuff and making yourself feel bad? It's literally all in your mind. It's all about perspective. And when I think about all of the amazing things that I do have, I realized that I'm actually truly blessed. You know, even when it comes to like my health, being able to see, being able to spend time with my kids, like having a roof over your head, like things as simple as having electricity that we take for granted every single day. Because I remember when there was a week that I didn't have electricity, and that was terrible. And then I started, and in that moment, I was like, man, I'm so grateful for AC. I'm so grateful for Wi Fi. I'm so grateful for a TV. I'm so grateful for hot water when I didn't have those things. It's so funny because you don't appreciate your health until you're sick. You don't appreciate the things that you have until you don't have it no more. Right? So we need to practice gratitude every single day so that way you can change your perspective, but also be vibrating high. And when you vibrate high, you're going to attract better friends, better opportunities. And it's not that those things were never there, it's just now you became more self aware to be able to even see the opportunities and blessings. Okay, so that is pretty much it. I'm gonna leave it at that because I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself when I say watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts. But for me, that's really where it started. Like literally, I would get motivated and I'll feel good about myself and I'll start cleaning my room and I'll start waking up every day and every day I'm feeling a little bit better about myself. Like I said, I know what it's like when you don't feel like getting up those days, but those are the days that you gotta push through. So like I said, I'm going to leave it at that because I keep repeating myself. So, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the podcast, if you're new to my YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe, download it, and if you learn something new, reshare it on your stories because that's the way that we're going to be able to grow organically. So, thank you so much for tuning in, and you guys will catch me on the next one.